Hello everyone, my Twitch was just acting up. It's just reset a bunch of stuff, so forgive me for a few moments. Just making sure we're all good. Yeah, my Twitch was being funny and now it's reset all of my dashboard stuff that I usually use, so that's annoying. Not the end of the world, just annoying, honestly, for the most part. Happening. Why don't we watch this? We won't watch this in a while I get sorted out for a moment if you here. We'll be right back with you. Wait, does it not have sound again? Oh my god. I hate this thing. Oh no, it does have sound. Now I'm just talking over it. Ah! Just says no. And you're ready to blow up on the Adept. Oh, the worst Adept shade of all time. Classic is your WardiTV 2025 champion. You guys didn't have sound either? Okay, it's just 4-0 dominance. Sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. It's so annoying. I can't figure out why, like, when it decides to work and when it just doesn't. I really can't. Welcome to the WardiTV 2025 channel. Because it's not working for me either. I wonder if I reload the frame. If oh, massive fungal growth comes down and this Bioforce gets caught. That's not the I know you guys can probably hear it now, but I can't. Alright, herO needs a moment. Otherwise, we'll be ready to go. Kick this off. This is ready to go. I can't even find where the monitoring is. Mic. I don't even know anymore. Alright, players are ready. Let's jump into herO versus MaNa and get this day started. I don't know why my OBS doesn't want to work half the time. It's the sound stuff changes all the time is the problem. Oh, yeah. Alright. At Eternity's Edge, are we live on YouTube? Yes, we are. We're good over there. Hello, YouTubers. Good to see you guys. Hope you're all feeling wonderful. I'm Wardy, and this is the WardiTV Summer Cup, the final day of the groups. And this group is an absolute banger, if I do say so myself. Let's get into it, let's have a good time, and let's see what takes place. Thank you for joining us here. Again, a pleasure to be with you all, and excited to enjoy some games with you guys as we kick this off and get this party started. As you can see in the top left-hand side of the map, we are going to begin the day with the red Protoss player. This is going to be herO. He takes on the orange Protoss on the bottom right side. MaNa, who unfortunately is a little bit of an underdog in this group just because it's turned out to be an absolute group of death, to be honest. Yeah, it turned out to be a really good group of games in the end, so we have MaNa in a little bit of a difficult group. Excited to see what he can do over the course of the competition today, see what sort of games he can give us, see if we can have a good time. Looking forward to it, imagining we're going to have a good bit of fun, a good time. And yeah, I would think that will be a rather enjoyable set of games that we got coming up. Let's just get things started out here, and we look to see what we can do. Cybercore coming up, probably on the way as well, so starting to see kind of the expectations of the very early stages of this. Again, nothing too wild, just for the first moment or so. Yeah, kind of just, like I say, seeing what we would expect to see thus far. But there is now going to be a pylon from MaNa, so he's going to start getting a bit aggressive. And aggression is an interesting question in this current day and age of the PvP, because of course players are more defendable than ever before, or more defensive than ever before, with the ability to build units so quickly out of the gateways. So gateway units are, you know, absolutely the stars of the show recently. Excited to see what that means for us as we get into this one. We work our way through. Probably is going to come across. It's going to be double robo proxy from MaNa. Well, you know what? That is one way to to overwhelm the gateway units, is to be like, what if I build double the robo units you're expecting to have to deal with? I like it. I like the thinking. Now we're talking. Yeah, I can get behind that a little bit. I could be a believer for sure in that one. Excited to see if MaNa pulls it off or not here. As we will have the Stargate from here is extremely good, though. Because you've got to think a Stargate is essentially like a... I mean, think of the things that deny a... You know, that deny any sort of immortal play. I mean, obviously just lifting them up into the skies is a pretty amazing way to shut it down and stop them from doing much at all. So I'm going to go ahead and say that that's very likely going to be a very positive starting point. Dep coming over, coming to check to see what's going on. Is it best of 3? Yes, best of 3 all day today. 6 best of 3s. We have some sponsored content actually at the end of today as well, guys. So we'll be doing some sponsored content at the end of today. If you want to come and hang out with us for that, then all you have to do is stick around on Twitch, as we have a couple adepts coming up. Guys, I just see it's trying to play ads right now on my Twitch. That shouldn't be possible because I just played ads before we started, but if you get ads right now, I'm super sorry. Twitch has just been acting up for me since I went live. And it seems to have just reset my ad countdown timer. So, yeah, if you just got hit with an ad, I guess you can't hear me anymore, but yeah, Twitch is doing us dirty. Twitch is doing us dirty. Well, let's actually get into this. So herO gets into 6 workers killed. I mean, the Void Ray is something you just can't fight against here as MaNa. You do not have the anti-air production to deal with the Void Ray. The Immortals are really powerful on the ground, and against anything but a Stargate, this would genuinely be very scary. But yeah, I think we're going to be in a whole bunch of trouble here, sadly. He's just going to be seeing the... Immortals at least can... I mean, don't get me wrong, we're going to do work as MaNa. It's just you're not going to end the game with this, especially with the Stasis Ward capturing all 3 of the Immortals up on the high ground as well. That's just going to be very tough, and MaNa realizes this is not working with the Void Ray out. By the time you get going with the Immortals again, second Void Ray is likely here. He thinks that this one is just worth the GG and to move into the next game. We'll head into our game 2 then in a couple of seconds, guys. Keep this rolling and get into this next one momentarily. Our second map is going to be Lockdown. Perfect. We got all of MaNa's games early today. So we're going to be working through MaNa versus, I believe it's MaNa herO, MaNa Rogue, MaNa ByuN in that order. And then we'll go into the rest of the games from there as well. Hey guys, if you just came out of ads, I'm sorry. I was just saying before, but maybe they'd already started. Twitch has been messing up a little bit this morning, and for some reason my ad counter reset, which shouldn't happen because I play a good amount of ads before we start and make sure the ad counter has a bunch of time on it. And Twitch just were like, eh, whatever. So if you got hit with ads during the end of that game, I'm sorry. What happened? Who won? MaNa walked his Immortals into the Void Ray and was like, oh, that's not good. They got stasis. I mean, it doesn't really matter how it went down. Exactly, because honestly, every situation in that scenario ends the same way, which is He doesn't have TLDR MaNa doesn't have enough anti-air to even really be competitive in the slightest, and that is pretty much damning. That is pretty damning, unfortunately. In the top right-hand side, we're going to have ourselves the Red Pros player who finds themselves up 1-0 to start this one off. This is going to be herO. With MaNa in the bottom left-hand side, our blue Protoss player, as we get this all running, rolling, and all the rest of it. Alright, let's see what we get then. Let's see what MaNa and herO give us for game 2. See if MaNa has some more action planned. Maybe some more aggression could be on the cards as well. Don't hate the aggression from MaNa, but what he did is just the kind of build that has some very definite... it has some very definite ways to just shut it down, right? Most notably. So I think that's the biggest issue of that, is that you just have, like I say, a bunch of ways to make sure that that is not going to go well for you if your opponent has the right setup, and that was pretty much the issue that we saw over on that one. Next is coming down, so MaNa is going to try and expand quickly this time around. It's a Nexus first, so he's really going a little bit all out with the builds, from one extreme to the other at the moment. One extreme to the other, from serious aggro to a little bit more kind of economy focused play, but like hyper economy as well is I guess what makes that particularly interesting. Proby's going to nibble at the other Proby, so we take a couple moments, we get some damage done, we make some work happen. Looking pretty reasonable so far. As we'll see, herO just expanding as well, so MaNa's going to get away with this starting point. So good for him. He's going to get away with the beginning of this. Gonna see the Zealot coming across, gonna actually slice onto a couple of probes. Just having the Zealot continue to gather through. Stargate coming up, the Adept is on its way out as well. Continue to bring that over for a few moments right here. Bringing that around just for now, as the Zealots will chase the other Zealot. Again, stalking the Warp Gate, continue to come up. The Gateway coming over. I'm just going to see the Zealot going to continue to take a few more shots of damage at the moment. ByuN and WardiTV, thank you for the GGs for the fans, and from a freeloading sub, like and subscribe. Yes, like and subscribe, guys. If you're on the YouTube early, especially, like if you join us at the start of the day on YouTube, it really is so crazy just what a few likes does. Like, just being active, scrolling down, and hitting the like button as soon as you get here actually makes... I think it can make like up to like 100 viewer difference on YouTube, which is a big deal when that's like potentially like a third of our viewership being increased. So, yeah, if you are watching on the YouTube and you enjoy what you're seeing and you've got an account, you're logged in, you can take a second, like I say, scroll down. Just give us that click, and it really does go a long way for us. It's so easy. And we're also approaching, if you haven't subbed already, we are approaching the 50,000 subscriber mark. We've been talking about this a lot, of course, but we are very nearly there. We're very nearly at the 50k subscribers. So if you don't subscribe, consider that. We appreciate you guys. Get the sellouts in earlier today, shall we? I mean, is it really selling out when you're selling out for subs? So, MaNa is... I'm just gonna apparently not have an answer to the Oracle, and that's just gonna be GG. So unfortunately, not quite the PvP of the day to start us off. That's rough. As herO takes the 2-0 to start us into things. Well, that's a very fast start, guys. Let's see if Rogue is already here. He is. Perfect. We'll get MaNa and Rogue vetoed up then, guys, and we'll just get this one going ASAP. Perfect. Yeah, MaNa was swatted down by the PvP of herO. So herO gets off to a strong start. I mean, I think a lot of people, and it's not to be mean to MaNa, but a lot of people will look at this as like the herO Rogue ByuN group. But I think the cool part of MaNa is that he has the potential to add upsets into that, you know? Yeah, I think it has the potential to add a bunch of upsets into this, and so obviously he doesn't find it against herO, but MaNa still, I think, could absolutely have an influence on this group, obviously against Rogue and ByuN. We are going to see him against Rogue now. Him versus ByuN will come up as the series after this as well, guys, so we're just going to watch all of MaNa's games early, see if there's any upsets, and if there's not, then we have the Rogue, ByuN, and herO games basically being between 3 players who are then competing to advance out of the group, right? So there we go. As we'll take a second here. Video's already on the way in. I will run ads again, guys, because what was that? All my shit's in the wrong place. That's so annoying. Jesus. Like, I knew it was in the wrong place, and it doesn't even matter because I'm in, like, autopilot mode. Hang on, let me edit this layout. So that needs to go over here, because that's obviously why... It's funny, because I can't remember what the layout is usually, but now I know what it's more likely to be, because I see what the automatic, like... I see what my automatic response is when I go and try and click something from my muscle memory, I guess. Fun. All right. Cool. Cool. We are going to get ourselves rolling. We have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vetoes, so we'll get another veto here in a sec. Bring this back into place. Get this started up. Wilson Temple going to be our opening map. Perfecto. Fun seeing MaNa today, especially after I watched a bunch of MaNa games on the WardiTV 24/7 channel recently. I mentioned this not to try and tell you guys about it, but honestly just because I've actually been watching my own 24/7 channel too, because I actually think it's really fun looking back at like a bunch of the old games and stuff. Alright, players are readying. Let's just move everyone around. I feel like I'm missing somebody. I was. Got them in this lobby. 6 casters today. I need to remember 6. And we'll get this ready to go. Alright, players are ready. Let's go into some PvZ and see if MaNa has something creative for us on this one, as he scraps his way against Rogue. Rogue's been playing great lately. Rogue could make it 4 Zergs in our playoffs if he gets through today. Meanwhile, herO is looking to be the 2nd Protoss in the playoffs, and ByuN would be the 3rd Terran if he were to make it. As we... Obviously, MaNa would be Protoss there as well if he also makes it. That is also a possibility, of course. As we dive in, I'm going to have on the bottom left-hand side, to start us off, it's going to be close spawns. It is going to be our blue Zerg player in the bottom left. This is Rogue. In the bottom right, our red Protoss is MaNa. Alright, let's see if MaNa, like I say, has something fun for us in the PvZ. As, like I say, Rogue's been looking pretty good lately. He's been playing great. Actually very excited to see Rogue herO later. I think that's going to be a very interesting one to see how everything develops. See what happens. Just going to see that Forge is going to be the choice initially. So MaNa's going to try and Cannon Rush. Kind of funky. Drone coming over, nibbling at the pylon. Take a few moments early, a little bit of damage going back the other way. The drones are all pulling. We have a gateway here, but we never got the cannon up, right? So we don't have a cannon to back this up. Definitely makes this feel a little bit weaker. And the drones pull through. Lings. Gateway coming about. That Nexus drops down from MaNa, so he's just going to cancel the gateway. Then he can have a cannon back at home, I guess. Interesting. Interesting. Dan Hatch, Overlord, Cannon, and the Nexus all coming through for a little bit here. Get that on the way. I mean, now you've forced a bunch of Lings, and you're going to have a cannon. I was going to say, I don't think that probe was going to be the be the hero. I don't know why he didn't build. I guess he didn't have the money just yet to build another building. Now these Lings are in the main base, and that's annoying because you're going to lose mining time trying to deal with this as the probes pull in. The Lings force them back and go back and forth a little bit. Settling here for the first few moments, seeing what we can do. Just so annoying to have those Lings right up in your face basically the entire time here is going to make this a pretty rough situation, to say the least. It's, now you see -4 probes, and obviously MaNa's not exactly have the greatest start either because he invests into that Forger, doesn't really do anything. A little bit of a rough beginning as a couple Lings come back around. I'm just going to say GG as this one has gone out of control. Alright, game number 2 will be on the way, guys, as we hope for something a little different. Not the best start of the day for MaNa. Not going the way he will have been wanting it to, no doubt. Hard to imagine if anything close to what he wanted to have happen. I mean, it's sad because actually the build could have been cool. It just never really got off the ground at all, right? And if it never gets off the ground, it's kind of a little bit messed up from the very beginning, right? It becomes very difficult to do anything with. That's more or less what we saw. As Ready and Go-Go gets called from Rogue. And I'm going to give us the Ready GLHF. And I am missing a caster again. Come on, guys. Get in the lobbies. It's almost like they don't want to be here. Unbelievable. Alright, countdown is on. Ready GLHF has been called already. Let me get this set to go. Let's go to the loading screen. MaNa had a bad group to play. It is a bad group for MaNa, but at the same time, like... I mean, to be fair, he's just had a couple unfortunate games. I mean, especially against herO, the double robo against Stargate game immediately is just like build order, heavy build order disadvantage right from the very beginning is not exactly great either, right? So... Rogue in the bottom right-hand side to try and bring us back on track. in this match. Gonna try and bring us back through as well as we get this all on the go, get this started off. Let's see if he has some plans. I mean, he's going to go for the forge opening again, so he's going to stick, at least for now, to kind of what he was setting for before. See if it works out better this time, see if we can actually get the setup going. Was that a rage quit? No, I don't think it's a rage quit on the last game. He's genuinely in a lot of trouble. He opens with a forge, which is not ideal, so all of his tech is delayed. The Lings getting in, I think, was game ending. Without the Lings, it's not great, but it's whatever. But the Lings getting in and losing multiple probes to the Lings, your position in the game at that point is just terrible for you, basically. So, you know, unfortunately, it's just very difficult to figure out at that stage. What's the new music? The new music is from like a mixture of Brood War and from Nova Covid Ops and stuff. It's all StarCraft music. So we have the cannon in the gate coming up on the third location. The drones pull down over here to continue to block the natural. Rogue takes the triangular third as his expand. The problem is if these cannons get up, it's very annoying because then you cannot really kind of move your units between your bases. The probes try and stick around and do as much as possible. Gonna have to cancel one cannon though. Probably gonna have to cancel the other, to be fair as well. And not having a probe now across the map means we can't rebuild those cannons either. A couple Lings pop out. The Zealot's just going to be a few moments away. If the Zealot was here to help with this cannon, it's a very different scenario, right? But with the Zealot not there, the cannon goes down. Well played by Rogue, knowing when he could just pull the drones back and just send the Lings in to finish it off as well. Just good understanding of kind of the timing he was at and so on and so forth. Ling speed will be building on that spawning pool. Let's bring that Ling speed into place for a few moments here. Getting that going at the moment. So it's actually still running as the Ling's trying to chase. The probe goes down. The other Lings gather up. Just going to see the, again, Robo Facility probe and the Adept continue to come around as well at the moment. Continue to get that going. He's going to run up the other side, so that's going to be pressure you have to deal with as MaNa has the two Zealots here trying to do as much as they can. Rogue is just going to flood Lings. This is over. GG. Because, yeah, you just can't do anything at this point with the situation that just came around. Rogue 2-0. Not MaNa's best day. Alright, ByuN and MaNa coming up next as we speedrun through the first couple of matches. Barely even got started. We've barely even gotten started and we're already so far along. Crazy business. Yeah, I mean, obviously just not the games for MaNa, not having a great time for himself, unfortunately. Some days like that, you're trying to do something funky and it's just not working. Yeah. Some days it's like that. Do, 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 do. Do, do, bada bow, boom. Alright, ByuN vs MaNa coming up here in a couple of seconds, guys. We get this ready to rumble. And let's wait for these videos to come through and we'll get ready to resume. Did I see that comment on one of my videos the other day? Guy literally said, I appreciate what you do, Wardy, but you're just telling us what we see on the production tab. Yeah, I mean, some people think of StarCraft casting as this thing which has to be like super informative and like analysis 24/7, but yeah, I mean, that's not how I cast. So, but some people really just think it's like some great thing where they're like, I've realized what he's doing. He's just saying what's on the screen. The thing is, though, it's like sometimes what's in like what these people fail to realize is that sometimes mentioning what's in the production tab, even if it's obvious, helps link to the game together for people who aren't just staring at the production tab, who are kind of just watching the SCV move around the map, right? And whatever else, like I get it. Don't get me wrong. Like I understand. Like everyone can see the production tab, and me, saying what's in the production tab is not some great skill or anything. But it is part of like the overall story of the game and what's going on and how it's taking place. Just because we're notating what's there. And sometimes it's because there's also not much exciting to say. And sometimes, recently, one of the great examples I had recently of someone getting mad at me on the YouTube was someone was like, what did they say? They said something like, it's so frustrating how you don't take any opportunity to like analyze or discuss the possibilities of the game. And they were like, when he starts building siege tanks, you could, start talking about all the good siege tank positions on the map. And I'm just like, man, I don't know what sounds more miserable than hearing someone be like, all right, guys, he's building siege tanks. You know what this means? He could siege up here, or he could siege up here, or he could siege up there. Like, at the end of the day, like, sometimes that's cool. And sometimes it's like, if it's definitely going to be part of his strategy to make a push that wants to take advantage of the tanks, yeah. But also, like, if every time we build a tank, we start talking about tank positions, it's freaking boring casting, Like, this is also not some kind of groundbreaking, like, oh my goodness, this is going to be awesome thing that these people seem to think it is. So, yeah, it's, I don't know. It's almost like everyone has their preference, which is fine. Like, you do not have to enjoy exactly how I cast. And I'm not trying to say that I cast in the best way possible either. And sometimes I do, sometimes I am boring. Sometimes I do just sit here and I'm just like, man, there ain't a lot going on in this game. But I think that's what a lot of you guys appreciate too, is that sometimes we just sit here and chill and we just kind of wait to see what happens. Like, not everything has to be a learning experience. Not everything has to be, some groundbreaking discovery of how this matchup is going to work. Because that's just exhausting, especially when you're watching. It's weird as well, because I guess in StarCraft, you like watch a lot of games at once, or at least at this level, you watch a lot of games at once. If you're in the World Championship match, yes, let's talk about every possibility. Let's talk about all of the things. Let's really try hard, because it's more likely that people are watching that one single series as like, okay, I'm going to sit down, we're going to watch the World Championship matchup, right? Or like the games in the, when we're just sat here casting match after match on the online events, like, we just don't need to, at least in my eyes, you just don't need to see or hear this constant state of analysis 24/7. And like I said, it's not that analysis is bad. I mean, like, I feel like I have my moments too, and I'm like, oh, this game's kind of interesting, and this is why. But like, yeah, some people get real upset about the play-by-play, right? It's crazy. Some people just prefer color commentary and they don't want to hear the play-by-play. Yeah, which is fine. Like, the thing is, it's like, as a solo cast, like, as someone who casts like me as well, it's like, it's just, some days are different, right? Like, people also, like, so the crazy thing to me is you have play-by-play and, like, say, for example, like, football or whatever. You have play-by-play, right? And these guys, their job the entire week is to learn stuff about the players, learn stuff about the teams, and to do nothing but research those specific players, teams, and the matchup for the entire week, right? Like, that is their job. The entire week building up to it, like, that is what they do. And then 90% of the game is XYZ. Passes to Y. Ball, a bit slow. Does not make it. The defender has picked it up. It's like, bro, like... Ay. It's like getting annoyed, like in the NFL, like apparently, like as an American sports broadcaster in general, Apparently, like, one of the golden rules is how frequently you mention the score. Apparently, it's very important to bring the score up every, I think, like 5 minutes or so, right? So, like, they have, like, hundreds of ways to mention the score, but it's like every few minutes they're meant to mention the score to keep the viewers tied into where the game is at, right? So it's like, are people getting mad for the freaking people in the casting American game, like sports games, like NFL and stuff? Are they getting mad that they mention the score? It's like, it's written on the screen, guys. But, I mean, that actually happens too, so I guess the problem is us as people where, you know, the human race is a bit sick of things. We just like complaining, I guess. Anyways, fun rant, as we have the Proxy 2 gate from MaNa. He's come to play with speed, if nothing else, today. Bunker is up, though, and that bunker is going to put a pretty good defense on things pretty quickly. That's going to stop the majority of anything really coming out of this, I would say. I mean, we've got a couple stalkers up the ramp so they can push the SCVs off of this, and that's obviously going to give you at least a chance to maybe make something happen over these next few moments, but I'm still not exactly holding my breath. I'm not confident that this is going to do what we needed to do. SCV's down. ByuN obviously had to cancel a command center, so there's a few resources wasted there, you could say, as well. And a few Marines gather up together, just going to take a couple seconds. Adept and the Stalker gathering through. That probe is going to be right there as well. Siege tank is about halfway through also, just for a few moments. These stores just going to poke Deep Ball, take some damage. The tank out should stop this further pressure. And just says GG. Thinks that is going to be a bit too much. ByuN with the 1-0 advantage in the BO3. Oh, we are going to dive to a game 2 then. Old Sun Temple. Central, West Central. Six casters, 2 players. Perfect. Ready, GLA Jeff. Alright, Old Sun Temple coming up, my friends. I'm going to kick this off in just a couple moments. Get that ready to go. And see what the next plan is. In the top left-hand side with the 1-0 lead, our red Terran player. From the Shopify Rebellion, we are going to have ByuN. In the bottom right, our orange Protoss is going to be team... No team. Ugh. Old habits die hard. It is going to be MaNa in the bottom right corner of the map. Over here. Well, that was a fun, previous game, wasn't it, guys? Cheeky little, cheeky little rant about people complaining into the game being over again. Oh, yeah. People say dumb things in general. Who would have guessed, you know? Who would have guessed? Say the score again. It's been nearly 5 minutes. I can only read certain things on the screen, unfortunately. To be fair, I say the score a lot as well. It's a really good filler, to be fair. And you know, people join all the time, and you know, the two big numbers on the bottom of the screen, they're hard to see sometimes, you know? They're hard to see. Sometimes it's good to fill that gap. Why aren't we discussing all the implications of the cross spawn? Yeah, exactly. This is what I mean, man. This is what makes me a boring caster. I could, for the 5th time in the last 3 days, explain that cross spawn is obviously longer. And hence, who does that favor? Well, actually, in TVP, it's kind of an interesting who does it favor. Typically Protoss. Gonna give an answer, right? But from MaNa's point of view, if he wants to, I mean, it's gonna favor the less aggressive player. Typically, that's the Protoss player in the early game. But at the same time, maybe MaNa has aggressive plans, right? So, yeah, there you go. There's actually, in TVP, it is kind of interesting to discuss, but not really. Because now you've heard me discuss in this PvP, it'll be the same in the next one. But yeah, no, it's, I always think the craziest thing when people hate on the casting, which is, like I say, it's fine if you want to hate. Like, not everyone's going to like the casting. But like, if it's so bad, then why do so many people still watch it? You know? It's like it's this crazy thing where it's like, and they will I've used this argument before, and this is my favorite part. Their counter argument is that because it's the only StarCraft to watch, and I'm like, right, that's it, guys. You have to watch this. There's no possible other StarCraft for you to watch. Actually, to be fair, sometimes this is where people get really mad as well, and they're like, because you hog all the games, you don't let the other casters cast the tournaments. Yeah, that was a classic. There was an era where one of the community casters was saying I was banning them from casting all the other tournaments because I wanted to hog the viewership. I'm like, oh, God forbid your 17 viewers also watch the same tournament I'm casting. Oh my God. Yeah, this was actually a thing like 5 years ago or something. I'm up against my own 24/7 channel. Oh, I know. The pain. The pain and suffering. I killed Rifkin. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I was like, that's based on TV. They never talk about the game. I'm gonna take their jobs. Yeah. Today is one of those days as well. Because of the way these games are going, today is an exemplified day of like right now, this is not exactly being a fun set of games to cast, right? So then the day doesn't exactly help you stay on topic either. It's crazy. Yeah. It's not fair. I cast all the tournaments I host. Someone actually argued this once, you know? Like, they legitimately argued this one time. It was, yeah. They said I should let other people host the tournaments. Crazy concept. You go to challenge, you make a bracket, and you post about it. Bam! You are also hosting the tournament. Who knew? Holy. Mind-blowing. It's not actually that easy, guys. I need to keep my job here. It's not that easy. Running tournaments is very stressful, very tough, very difficult. Don't just go and don't you guys just go run StarCraft tournaments yourselves. Like I'm one of the only people skilled enough to pull this off, okay? I gotta keep my job over here. Yeah. Fire Force tank and the Cyclone is going to be making a bit of a journey on the map. So MaNa did proxy in the bottom left-hand side. That is a fairly safe place to hide a base because you can't spawn vertically. So that is the location you would proxy a third in if you're going to proxy it, because ByuN is not, in theory, going to scout in that direction. So that's the logic on that one. Let's see how ByuN does on this push. Let's see if MaNa can defend this. He's down half the army supply. That's not super uncommon for the PVT though, so let's see if you can pull off the defense over these next few moments. Sentry coming around, just gonna have 2 Colossus out. 2 Colossus definitely on the right track of being able to defend. It's a lot of damage output available, especially if you don't let the siege tank like siege up in range of your Colossus as well. Should keep you in a pretty decent place. Medevac's taking a lot of damage straight away. Stalkers and the Colossus gathering in together. Going to lose the pylons on the side. That's kind of fine. My only concern here is if ByuN looks at this and says, you can't possibly only be on 2 bases, right? Like, if you're on 2 bases, surely you should have more. That would be a really good question mark. That would be a really good question of how things are going in this game. Because now, if he figures that out and he starts, trying to figure out where the 3rd base actually is, then MaNa's in some trouble. But has MaNa been convinced enough to maybe keep that from being the case? Will be our question. Colossus going to carry backwards, the ByuN Force coming through. A couple more of these Colossus laser beams hitting the ByuN Force, trying to step forward. This not actual 3rd base coming around. Yeah, ByuN scouts it. He just figured it out. He's like, if you were actually on 2 bases, you would have a more scary army than this right now. Instead, you're hiding as though you are on 3 bases without the 3rd base. And I'll have to warp in a couple of units over here to play defense against that one Marine, but that now means that that location is an open spot to attack. ByuN already getting 2 probes, going to get 3, as MaNa is going to commit in. Widowmines do not do bad for MaNa. That actually works out rather nicely. MaNa's starting to push forward. If he loses the bottom left now, at least he has the other base coming up. MaNa's also up an armor upgrade right now. And he's very quick to 2-2. I kind of like where MaNa's at. I don't like the Colossus being exposed here, though, as the army was still in the middle of the map from ByuN. Goodbye 1, goodbye 2, and goodbye 3. Yeah. Well, that goes all of your tech in the game. You can't spend 5+ minutes building this up and then be okay with losing all of those Colossus. Marines hit the bottom left. Looks like the pros mostly evacuate here already. Losing the Colossus is just game ending. It's kind of brutally true, but it's kind of just... it is just true. Like, you just can't lose Colossus like that. You just can't really lose Colossus like that. MaNa is going to try and go towards an actual 4th base now. And try and bring this along. Just going to be seeing the 2-2 upgrades for him. It's still going to be one of his advantages, having 2-2. Man, imagine this game if MaNa had the 3 Colossus still. I actually really liked where he was at. I don't really even disagree with him pushing over. He won a fight, just... he needed to keep everything together. You can't just let the splash damage go down like that. If we'd been able to keep that away, this would have been absolutely dreamy. Instead, it sets in not so dreamy a scenario. The Marines and the Medevac join up together. Stalkers, Zealots, and Colossus gather around as well. You can see the Stalkers blinking up. A couple of Medevacs start taking some big damage, starting to go down. The Colossus going to keep laser beaming. Stalkers will shoot. A couple of Zealots just going to keep charging. The Bioforce already taking some pretty hefty damage as well. I mean, the Colossus still have some potential here. Again, especially now they do a little bit more damage against the Marauders, and so it just makes it a bit easier for them to push in. We have a few units already responding to the drop. However, we've got to have the Medevac gold into the maiden base. Do we have any warp gates from MaNa? No, just gateways. The one thing that feels very rough for Protoss is obviously you're so used to, after all these years, just having a warp in available to deal with the drop or so, that nowadays you don't necessarily always have that warp in available because you haven't morphed the warp gates, right? So you've just got to be a little bit more proactive with the defense there. Obviously, eventually you can morph these into warp gates and get those back, but like right now we're playing this without a warp gate situation, so. Imagine having 4. I mean, +3 Colossus at any stage of this game just makes it. I mean, he could have built like 5 Disruptors instead of 3 more Colossus or something, you know? Would have been a completely different game as well. Ryan's going to get after a couple of probes. Stalkers do get there. The medevac goes down. Nice catch. Another scan. +2 attack upgrade. +1 ship weapons going into place. And Ghost, Marine, Marauder coming through. Viking the medevacs. Still building up as well. Gun supply is about 177 to 156, so I think comfortable enough. He's got 80 workers as well. Both players actually have very strong economies. The thing is that ByuN is going to keep on expanding very comfortably, and when you get to expand comfortably as a Terran in TVP, that is a good time. Usually the pros is out expanding you en masse, putting the pressure on the map and so on. So ByuN being so free to play as he's playing definitely puts him in a very good place. There is going to be a bit of a timing window where it's going to be 3-3 to the 2-2. Again, now +3 armor coming about. Those extra Vikings are coming up. CCs are building. +3 attack upgrade coming through as well. Bio Ghost Force will continue to gather together. It's going to be seen as Zard Stalker. Colossus Force coming back around also. Again, 3-3 will all come up. A couple Colossus come by. The Command Centers will build. Just going to see the +2 ship weapons going in from ByuN already. It's a big bio army. Viking medevac force down to the south at the moment. Vikings are going to shoot. A couple Colossus already getting blasted. Let's see what the Stalkers can do. I mean, it's a lot of Colossus, so not enough Vikings. Arguably, oh, nice rock drop. It's going to block the units away. Man, we were doing a great job of chewing through the Vikings there, and obviously because we had extra Colossus, we could kind of just sit and absorb some of that damage. Bio coming around. Stalker coming around here, and just going to be seeing the Watchtower being taken for a couple moments. You can see this Colossus Zard Force going to come by. A couple of these rocks already dropping. Am I crazy? The music different? Yeah, they added new music, different StarCraft music with this patch, so now more music gets played in game. Some Brood War music, some Nova COVID ops. If you're very lucky, about 2.5 hours into the stream today, you'll hear no music. That's the part where they forgot to loop the entire playlist back around from the start, so unless you restart StarCraft, you lose music. Stalker's going to deny base up at the top, so MaNa actually has some good map control back over here. It's a nice change of pace from every other game that was happening today. Stalker's Colossus is going to shoot, just going to be seeing the command center in the bio, taking a bit more damage as well. Just going to be having this force taking place. The Vikings, the bio coming back and forth. Go back and forward there, force a cancel. Man, it's crazy. You only get 75 minerals back from a CC nowadays, guys. Disgusting. Disgusting. Double Colossus, Corona boosting out those robos. And like me seeing this big fight breaking out, then the Colossus are going to get themselves into position, looking to see what they can do. And MaNa's supply is not really holding up super well. It's not looking great at the moment. It's not looking great at all. ByuN still coming over. A couple Stalkers still being chased as well. Just gonna have ourselves the couple Colossus gonna gather back through again, plus their ship weapons. Advanced ballistics coming into play. The Neosteel plating also coming up as well at the moment. No, we're just cranking. We've got 5 robos. ByuN's like, man, I can't kill Colossus fast enough. Every time I kill 3, 4 more appear. It's like, what's going on? He is going to kill this base. A big map, obviously, now that we're on the cross spawns. Noteworthy that we have a lot of space to work with, so that is pretty notable as well. So you can see the advanced ballistics coming up, plus 3 ship weapons is halfway done, additional libs are coming about, Immortals, Colossus, and the Prism coming through. Stalkers, again, after a couple of these Vikings, the Colossus will step forward as well. Zelda's going to keep chasing. Those Vikings actually still making a bit of a push in. Those Colossus are taking some damage. Bioforce is going to push through. Colossus, gonna have a bit more damage still being taken. One Colossus goes down, a second one. The Marauder count continues to take some heavy hits, and that is going to be these Colossus getting absolutely slammed. The Colossus pull back up to the high ground. A couple Marauders get turned back the other way again. And again, 10 more Zealots continue to come through. Immortal Colossus continues to come by. Scanning to the bottom left, ByuN is like, hey, did you retake this base? No is the answer. We did not retake that base. So that at least is some good news here. Just not going to have enough at the end of it all. So just going to call that one. And that is going to be that for us. GG. ByuN 2-0. So unfortunately for MaNa, 0 and 6 on the day. It doesn't mean that everyone goes kind of equal with MaNa, which really brings this down to just plain and simple a straight up battle for the other 3 slots between Rogue, ByuN, and herO. So we will just have a straight up fight between those guys. I mean, ByuN had to expend a little bit more energy than the other guys, though. Alrighty, guys. We will take a couple seconds. We'll dive on into the Korean server. I'm not sure what's next. I believe it's probably herO next. herO, ByuN, herO, Rogue, and then ByuN versus Rogue to wrap us up. Perfect. Again, we do have some sponsored content, guys, at the end of the day. When we get to the end of these 3 best of 3s, and even if we're fast, I can't extend the StarCraft today because I have sponsored stuff to do. So all you gotta do is stick around for that. Really appreciate it. Helps us out a bunch. We're gonna be playing some Marvel Rivals at the end of today, so that will be the plan. Alright. herO and ByuN will begin to get this going. Perfecto. Alright, viewers, we'll begin here between ByuN and herO. Get this started off, guys. Thank you for joining us again for some WardiTV Summer Cup action. Unfortunately, not MaNa's day, but hoping that the rest of these guys, now the Koreans play each other, hoping that they give us some very fun action. Do 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 bum 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 bum. Waiting for one more pick and we can get this going. One more veto, map pick, and we can go. And get this started off. First map, Rainfall. Rainfall's been very popular. Get this ready to go. Ready, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing a caster. Get number 6 in here. We'll get ByuN herO on the way. Alright, blades are ready. Let's kick this off, guys. We are going to get going into ByuN versus herO. That's on the way. Best of 3 action continuing. Cosmigo halfway back to your 130. 65 stream watch streak. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Heck yeah. As we get ready to go, go, go. Alright, let's dive in, as we are going to be starting in the top left-hand side. This is going to be our blue Terran player. This is ByuN. He is taking on the red Protoss in the bottom right corner of this map. It is herO, so it is down to ByuN, herO, and Rogue in this group. 2 of them will advance to the playoffs. 1 of them will unfortunately be eliminated in 3rd place of this group. It is down to these 3. Obviously, there's no one else that can take part anymore with how the earlier games went. MaNa is already eliminated. Even if we get to some kind of tiebreaker situation between ByuN, herO, and Rogue here, it would just be replays between those guys, so that is the way of things at the moment. As we get this BO3 started up. Man, because my Twitch was messing up before the stream, my ads are all over the place. And don't get me wrong, it's not that we have like, just in case this game goes long, basically TLDR. Ads might play during the game, guys. I always do my best to try and avoid that, but if this game is like 20 minutes, there's a chance the ads will play during it. And it's just because my Twitch has been messed up all day, so the usual timings and stuff that we work with are all wrong. So apologies if that happens, just at the very start here. Hoping for a good series. If this is a fun one, then do not forget to like and subscribe if it ends up on the YouTube. Best part about watching this as a YouTube VOD, it probably means it was a good match, so... If you're hearing this, enjoy, and like and subscribe if you don't already. If you're on the live stream, you can like and subscribe already as well if you do fancy it. As we just have the Proby heading down. Reaper is going to continue up. It's about halfway done. Cybercore and Nexus will continue to build. Reaper just on its way out. The factory is about halfway done. So again, getting a lot of that brought up, a lot of that brought into place for a few moments. Reaper heads down, out onto the map, and again, away we go for a few moments. We're expanding as herO. We'll see if ByuN wants to do anything about that expansion. I mean, again, he goes factory before he expands himself, so he has the more aggressive setup than we're typically expected to see. Did Rogue 2-0 MaNa already? Yeah, MaNa got 2-0'd by everyone, unfortunately. It was not quite his day. The first 5 games were very quick. He actually put up a very good fight against ByuN in that second game against him, but just still ByuN, a bit of a beast. It was that kind of a weird one, because I felt as though MaNa still didn't quite get the start he wanted, and especially when he lost those Colossus, I thought he was done for. Still kept it competitive for a while as the Reaper gets through. He's going to get taken down. Not going to see anything really happen from that. Cyclone and the 2 Marines continue to produce right now then, so again bringing those out for a couple more moments as the Adept is going to go for a little bit of a shade as well. Marines are in position with the Cyclone. That is going to be enough for now, at least to zone the Adept away. So just going to keep those, or keep that pushed back. Not let that Adept get too close, not let that get too comfortable. Cyclone actually going to lock onto the Adept for a few moments. A few Marines will come about as well. Again, still trying to just see what more we can find for the next couple of moments. Medevac and the siege tank coming about. Just going to see the Blink of the Stalker, the Robo facility, and the gateway. All of that continue to produce right now. So again, bringing a lot of this up and running at the moment. So a lot of getting set at this point. And again, Blink's just about halfway done. The Marines and the siege tank continue to pop very shortly as well. Marines and that Cyclone will be here to, again, apply this pressure. Here's the Medevac to back us up. Let's see what exactly we can do. Our facility is cracking an observer. The store count is reasonable. No blink just yet, though, so you can't blink straight on top of this. So at least for a moment or two, that's actually going to be a little awkward. They're just going to make their way toward the pylon. We actually see the probes are going to get pulled into this, so a lot of respect for this attack by herO. He's not going to let this go easily. He, like I say, respects it, pulls a lot into this, and again, I think respectably so. Just going to see that Medevac just about escaping out over to the side, so we do manage to pull out of here for a couple seconds. And away for the moment. ByuN at this point is just trying to save a couple more units. Was this okay for ByuN? Did he do enough with these trades? Is it going to become my question? As it kind of always should be, I guess, in these scenarios. But, yeah, did he do enough? Yeah, I think he did. 5 Stalkers died, right? We forced a big pro pull, which has lost mine time. All of this was against the pros who didn't have a faster third base as well. So that also is a pretty big positive. You know, that's a pretty huge deal, I would say. So I'm going to go ahead and say that was pretty reasonable for the most part. Kind of like it. I like what we're able to do here. I like what we're able to do. Now the Stalkers come in and we're going to get a few SCVs on the return though. So we'll get back in. We'll start to do some work. On the round is going to be seeing a few Stalkers still firing it up. We are going to be having the charge. And Stalker production continuing. Stalkers are still swinging, by the way, so they're still getting a little extra done here. More damage being dealt for the next few moments. Stalkers gather around. The Marines are going to scan for the Observer a couple seconds as well. A little bit more being done once again. Just going to see Stimpack +1 both building. Here with the 85 supply to ByuN's 74 at the moment. Charge. We'll finish soon on that Twilight Council. Gonna drop 4 more gates to forge in the Robo base, so looking to attack us up further. It is interesting, we're seeing a lot of the tech has been a lot later recently. I think has been a pretty consistent factor out of a lot of this PVT, and I guess it is just the ability to make a lot more gateway units a lot earlier and so on as well. We already talked about that idea and so on. So yeah, it's been interesting to see that kind of develop through a bit though. And the Medevac just joined up. The Immortal pops out front. The attack upgrade coming in. Forge in the gateway. Continue to produce through for a few moments. +1 attack, combat shield, and the concussive shells continue to come along. So he gets out of scary range here. We are going to go for a big lift up, having pushed the Observer back. Going to reset things for a couple of moments. ByuN ends up just scanning over here as well, and again, playing the denial on the scouting. 2 observers dead in this game. ByuN has been extremely good at dealing with the with a lot of this. Just gonna see that Viking comes across. Observer gonna take some more damage. A couple of stalkers going down as well. Thankful shooter Fusel's going to look to try and charge forward. Bio is already going to begin to stim, so away we go. And this looks absolutely fine for ByuN. The real Colossus in the back there is very low. I was going to say it was kind of okay for now. Now it's in a little bit more trouble as it will continue to be chased. The ByuNs are still getting after it. Still going to be able to go for a little bit more opportunity. Fire Force regathering once again. We take a couple of seconds. We are going to be seeing ByuN. I mean, it was a nice fight for him, but it's not going to be completely game-ending or anything along those lines. We have herO able to kind of bounce back nicely. Still only on the 4 bases. I will say, I do feel like I was a little skeptical about this at first, but it does feel like TVP has slowed down a little bit for the pros players being able to kind of just expand. So that's been kind of nice to see that we're not just seeing this kind of mass expanding stuff. Like, it takes, I think if nothing else, it does at least just take a little bit longer for the pros players to be able to do this. So you get a little bit more wiggle room time as the Terran before it all kind of kicks off and becomes a big old problem like we're used to it being. Pro stepping forward here, herO taking a dive in towards this army. Is going to be able to kind of run straight towards this and put some pressure on, so seeing some success here for a couple of moments. Spyro just pulls back and is going to sit back in defensive for a few moments at least then, so we hang around. Fire Force wants to come back in around the right side, trying to get a bit of push going. Now herO takes his 5th base. ByuN, is he on his way to his 4th at all is my question. I'm just wondering how close we might be to seeing ByuN be kind of truly somewhat ready to deal with this kind of going into a later stage or so. And he's building a 4. He's got a 4th command center up. It just needs to move in position, so needs to figure that out. The Vikings already going to put some light damage out onto the front here as well. The few Colossus already taking some shots. herO would... I mean, herO's being herO and he's just continuing to fight no matter what here, but I do not feel like a few moments of calm would do herO much harm. As we are going to be seeing this Bioforce pulling straight back, so we get away from here just a second or two. SCV's actually going to pull in as well, so ByuN's really going to respect this with the SCV pull especially. He is going to absolutely respect the power of this force. 20 SCVs go down now. He gets rid of every Colossus. However, does he have enough bio firepower left? The 2-2 upgrades from herO are going to be absolutely booming right now. As the Zealots, Stalkers, Immortals dive on through. The Vikings land. The bio is here. We keep pushing further forward. This army keeps dropping. And we're going to see every Immortal going down at least. Like I say, is it going to be enough overall for ByuN to hang on in there? His SCV count really decimated. And man, the 2-2 from ByuN finishes now. As he GG's out, like he was without 2-2 that entire time. Crazy. Crazy. GG. Man, 2-2 was huge for herO. Really helping him to win this fight in the end. And that is going to put him up to a 1-0 lead in this opening game of this BO3. I don't know what map 2 is. Someone logged in, and every time someone logs in on the Korean server, they're getting spammed with achievements. Lockdown into Sanctuary for 3. Cool. WardiDad on the 113-month resub on the Prime. Guys, if you have a Prime sub, you gotta hit it, because WardiDad has just shown you how. So if my dad can figure out the Prime sub button still, then you guys can figure it out as well. Do check it out. Hit the Prime sub button today. Help us out. We are staying above 500 subs, which is nice. If we have won the fight to stay above 500, then let's try and push that a little further, shall we? Appreciate if you do decide to support it. Always helps us to run more StarCraft 2 content, of course, as well. Appreciate you guys. All right, ready from the players. We're going to kick off into lockdown and get this on the way. Countdown is on, and we are in game. In the top right corner, this is going to be herO. And blue Terran player, this is ByuN. Down a game. Starting this match off. Get this on the way. In the bottom left up a map is going to be herO. See what this round has for us. Probably already being a little bit of a nuisance across the map, but nothing too crazy. The first couple of moments, at least. Reaper is going to be out soon. This probe should just be checking if that is a Reaper or a Marine. Seeing the Reaper, you just know it could be certain builds. You know that effective gas has gone into it, so it takes away some of the factory timing possibilities from the Terran player. Just drop the additional racks down as you throw the CC as well. It's going to be a very biocentric play at the start of this one. Probe just nibbles and gets toward the SCV. It's going to be blocked out if the SCV comes back on this side. I'll be in some trouble, so the Reaper actually has to come back and get this probe just to make sure that SCV is fine. And it's obviously nice to get rid of the probe as well anyway. Adept will be pulling back home, so not going to get too involved just yet. Going to be trying to keep it a little easy, a little steady, for a few moments at least. And get going with that, as the Reaper obviously is poising to probably not deal too much damage, but at least try and gain some information. Gather some info as to what the heck is possibly going on over the course of these early stages. The Stalker is going to be there to meet the Reaper and just say, no, we're going to push you back the other way. Turn you around for a few moments at the very least. Dead is obviously just some of ByuN's map control disappearing then. Like I say, it is 3 barracks, so it's very bio-heavy. There's the main thing to kind of take note of right now, right? We're very biocentric at the moment. That means there are some heavy times you can have with bio units. You can absolutely overwhelm at times with this as well, so there's a possibility of something that might take place. You got a few more Marines that continue to pop out, moving that around. herO is going to be playing this with 2 warp gates and the regular gateway. We'll see if he fixes that regular gateway, but obviously having the warp gates does mean that there's the possibility here that this is going to be a not like a lot of production, I guess, then is what I'm getting at. I'm just wondering again what the defense looks like kind of long term, because warp gates obviously are not going to now produce units more slowly. Like in theory, if you're going to end up being defensive right now, it would be better for you if these were gateways, because you could build more units at once. He's going to add 2 more gates as well. Oh, so he's going to be on like 5 gates. So he's actually going to be very aggressive setting up to go across the map. And like I say, just keeping them as warp gates, because it does seem like he's committed to the idea of going across the map. So it seems to be the plan at the moment. Seems to be the plan at the moment. Bio is going to have to turn around. The Stalkers going to be able to put a little bit of chase on this in terms of what we lost so far. 11 Marines and 3 Stalkers. But a couple of Marauders likely go down here in the end. There's going to be a lot of the resource loss that will go against ByuN. A couple of Marauders and Marines gathered together. A couple of those Marines already falling. Again, concussive shells, attack upgrade coming by. Just going to see the refinery. A couple of additional SCVs coming over as well. Rose is going to come down. He's going to be able to push that back. A few of the Stalkers go back the other way already. Just getting chased out of that one. bio is still coming down, chasing at those Stalkers for a few moments. A little bit more pressure coming into place. Still going to try and come up here once again. Just going to try and move through. It's a lot of Stalkers as ByuN tries to hold this off. Down again in this series. herO will be looking good in the group if he was to win this one already. We'll put him into a very positive place. We'll still gather Prism Warps in a few more units again. So just going to see a few more of those popping out as we speak. The Medivacs and the bio units will continue to come up and online currently. Supply-wise, I mean, ByuN is down about 5 workers, so the economy is actually fine for ByuN. His army is actually ahead as well. It's just the ability to trade well as the Protoss is definitely going to keep you in a pretty good position here, it seems. For the moment, at least. Comes over, a couple of Stalkers are going to end up being chased. We are going to see the Stalkers trying to come with the Prism as well, so A little bit of pressure coming in here, there, and everywhere right now. Can still gather up, just gonna see a little bit more coming out of this. A little bit more being found for a second. And we see the Prism just gonna drop the recall. Do we get out of there alive? We do. That's always a good thing. Like to see that. Force setting up once again. Third CC of ByuN coming down into position here, so we put that into place. The Shadow Stride is going to be the next choice from herO, so he's going to bring himself the chance to actually play the DT Blink, and with that DT Blink, and obviously himself into a pretty fun position too, so expecting that to be part of the plan on this at the moment. Yeah, at least so far the DTs don't seem to be able to get too much found just yet, so nothing too crazy for a moment or two. At the very least right now, it's going to be seeing the Prism. Drops a couple of the Zealots off. You want to put some more pressure on at the moment then. DT gathers up as well, and we are just going to have ourselves, again, this entire force gathering for a couple moments, settling to see what will happen. This pylon drops down. It's a lot more DTs, so here we're putting a lot of investment in these DTs. I tell you what, DT Blink has really bounced back a little bit the last few days. And I wonder if it's just the way that the games are going, that the pros feel the need to kind of get DT, Harass, and Blink out early again. This is obviously DT Blink before we go Colossus, which is arguably always going to remain at least a little bit questionable, if nothing else. But I guess we will see overall still. So the ByuN going to take a couple seconds, jump onto this set of rocks. A lot of DTs again, just ready for the counter at any point in time. Ready to deal with that, as I say. And you have the hallucination getting knocked down as well. Just going to be seeing that going around for a couple seconds. Going to be seeing the Bioforge just shows up on this base. I mean, the DT counterattack is going to be one of the main things to look at here, because obviously ByuN is going to do some damage. How much damage do we get done in return on the side here of the Protoss player? He kills an equal amount of SCV so far, so actually is going to be pretty good on the economy side of this. That's not bad. I mean, herO just fully commits to this attack on this side, and like I say, does some pretty okay damage up until this point. Is that enough to keep going? Love the force fields, obviously keeping a lot of this away. Kills off the base. Can herO get out of here without ByuN chasing him down? herO's already building the Nexus, expecting kind of the continued base trade almost. Now, ByuN's not going to give that to him, so that part will remain interesting as well, it would seem. And that part does seem as though it will remain interesting. For the moment, at least. ByuN trying to chase. Good EMPs hits both the Colossus, so they're going to be low, but we don't have a single. Okay, we have like a Viking. 2 Vikings here, and that would have been so damning. Like, honestly, even just 2 Vikings, enough to like actually pressure forward on the ZMP Colossus. Man, maybe not 2. Maybe like 4 to 6, though. And we could have knocked the Colossus down, and then herO's army feels terrible. It is rough having to stop and deal with these Dark Templar all the time, though. Definitely keeps you in a very rough position. Marauders come around a few seconds, take a couple moments. Vikings, ByuN, Ghost all gathering together. The Stalkers gather around as well. Just going to be having the command center. Gonna move itself into a little bit of a better place. Just gonna be coming across there for a couple of moments as well. ByuN has +3 attack, didn't realize, but oh, it's not super crazy, but ByuN is ahead by an armor upgrade. Finds this base up over here. Again, it was an interesting place for herO to take. More so felt like we were expecting this to be a like a full-on base trade than actually wanting to use that base long term. But if you have it, then you have it, right? So may as well keep it as long as you can. It's going to be seen as ByuN-ready fight. It does feel like ByuN's army is extremely ready to take on that army of the Protoss player. It doesn't look as though herO is going to be able to put much contest in. It was good EMPs surrounding everything, and herO's army does not have the power on it to do what it needs to do in this scenario. herO is looking to lose a game number 2, and that's going to tie us up 1-1 in this BO3. And that's very exciting, especially because we had obviously a very fast start to the day. It is nice to see the day and then maybe get a little bit longer with some of this. It's definitely a positive on our side from our point of view, right? So it's genuinely going to be a big plus. Vikings, the ByuN, the Ghosts all coming around. I mean, again, at this point, everything that herO has is going to be extremely minimal. It's going to be very tough to imagine him finding a lot of opportunity here. Another EMP that actually doesn't hit on anything this time around, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going to see the rest of that still coming around. Salt's just going to run around into a couple different mineral lines as well, so it's just trying to see if there's anything else that they can do. BioForce defending decently. Again, herO is doing a lot. I mean, ByuN is seemingly terrified of the very small amount of units. I mean, maybe not terrified. He's on the map. He is moving across, so it's not like he sat here doing nothing. Just felt as though his maybe with the lead he had, he could have been more aggressive more quickly. But then again, we obviously get to see things from a much more comfortable position without having to make decisions that could be game-ending if they are the wrong ones. And ByuN probably also feels like it's pretty good for him, so if you know it's pretty good, sometimes you just don't need to hard commit into anything else, right? You can just sort of let this be and let this kind of, you know, go however it wants to go. Just let it take a little bit of time. And DTs are still an annoyance as well, right? So that's one thing that you have to try and stay on top of as well over the course of all of it. Disruptor goes down just before it connects there, as ByuN is going to confirm that that is going to be the 1-on-1. Nice. Exciting stuff. 1-on-1 here tied up, as we are going to be settled in this series for our next map. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, a lot of close moments with some disruptors across the course of this one. Alright, good series, guys. Nice. We are getting some good games. That's what we like to see. A Sanctuary for map 3. Let's host this up and get this one started into a deciding map. Again, big one, because you win this, you're in a very good position already to advance on through. And obviously your other games are not exactly easy either. as we post in, drag ByuN to the player slot, and we'll get this ready to start, my friends. This ready to go, go, go. ByuN, herO, map number 3. Ready, says ByuN. Ready, says herO. Perfect. We're good to go, guys. Again, thank you so much for joining us so far today. So good to see you all. Thank you for being with us and enjoying some games. You're watching the WardiTV Summer Cup Group D. 2 more slots available in the playoffs of the competition. I'll probably draw the bracket after we do our sponsored content, because we want to go into the sponsored content quickly to take advantage of the viewership when we do wrap up the StarCraft games, guys. But after that, we'll probably do the drawing of the bracket so you guys can see who plays who next weekend. Is going to be when those matches take place, so yeah. Big one, because if you win this, you are in the running for first place in the group as well, and that first place seed is quite nice. First place would play one of Young Yakov, Percival, or Christiana. Second place would play one of Solar, Shin, or Kua. There's definitely a little tier of upgrade there from kind of finishing first to finishing second and who your opponent might be. So I think that's going to be fairly noteworthy to look at as well. So definitely keep that in mind. herO and ByuN. Settling into the 3rd map. Yeah, fun game. Actually, a very fun game as well. Very fun game that we got to see there between the players. How will this one go? CV across the map early. Engineering Bay block seems to be on the agenda this time. That goes about halfway done. Orbital Command, Reaper, and the Engineering Bay coming up as we speak here, so bring that into place. Get that into position right now, get that ready to go. The Reaper is about to pop out, and we'll get on the map to put some pressure on. Is this live? Yes! Everything you see on the channel is live, unless you see the words replays in the title. Then pretty much everything is live. The only time something isn't live and it's not in the title and stuff is usually if it's like we're casting replays that like games got pre-played, so it's like it's the first time we're casting them, but they're replays, but like we you know, no one's seen the games before. Then we don't advertise it as replays. But the majority of things you'll see on the stream, guys, usually are live. I know, crazy. Hello, Woody. Thanks for keeping StarCraft 2 alive. Nope. Thank you so much for watching it, guys. StarCraft 2 tournaments would not be alive without 2 things. The first is the players, and the second is with you guys watching. I mean, anyone can... We just discussed this earlier. Anyone could really run the tournaments. Anyone could run the tournaments, but we really do need, you know, you guys watching, supporting, subscribing, and all of that stuff. We really do need this to actually make this happen so that we can pay the players who obviously give us a reason to watch as well. So, shout out to all of you guys. Appreciate it. The Marines wanted to try and get towards the adept for a couple seconds. able to see this Oracle showing up, and it's actually going to have a pretty successful time. 4 workers is not bad, especially when there's a Cyclone out. Cyclone obviously out, but not able to do enough to stop this just yet. There's -4 SVs. I mean, again, nice that we have a Cyclone, because you're going to want that for future defense as well. It's out of position here at the moment, though. Might be a problem in the next few moments. Oracle gonna die? No, we get away. That's 9 SCVs. We lost 1 Oracle, but 9 SCVs is pretty darn good damage, so that is very reasonable. It's actually very good damage overall, isn't it? There's a lot of damage done right away there. Let's see if he's going to keep on mining as though nothing ever happened. Trust us, guys, and nobody ever hurt you, okay? Nobody ever hurt you. None of your other SCVs were harmed in the start of this game. It's a safe working environment, and Stargate's still powered. Not that herO really wants to put more money into further Stargate units at this point. Because this is the stage where if you put more money into Stargate units right now, you're just in... You're A, delaying the power of your push, and B, you maybe open the door for ByuN to step back in the game even. As ByuN sees that there's no actual third base here, which is kind of scary, and that's why herO has a lot of stuff as well. With the damage he's done also, you're in a very good position there right now, so that is definitely a pretty big factor at the moment. Police Nation pops up, just going to be seeing the few Stalkers will gather around. In the end, I thought herO was going to try and make something more of the attack already, but obviously it was not quite the way it went in the end, so... Charge is about to be done. +1 attack, combat shield, stim coming up as well at the moment, so bringing that around. These all just gather up, take a couple of moments. We're now going to get into the blink, so blink going to come up as the kind of the follow-up upgrade here. I guess it's not too crazy, right? Charge first. It's a little crazy. I guess off the Stargate, maybe it's not as crazy, but it wasn't what I was expecting, if I'm honest. You're seeing the medevac gathering around, a couple Cyclones, the Bioforce gathering up as well, so take a few more moments here. Just gonna see those Adepts gather about, just gonna be seeing the Zeldstalker, gonna sit tight, get ready to gather up. We are gonna be seeing this Bioforce needs these WardiTV to do well, and honestly they do pretty well. That was not a bad moment for the WardiTV at all. They connected very nicely onto a lot of the Zelds, they cleaned up a lot of stuff. You're unable to keep this fight going for a few moments here. Continue to put the pressure in. Here is going to force him back. A couple units in the medevac in the main. Just going to chase down a lone adept that was left over in this main as well, it seems. And it seems like that is pretty much going to be that one. As we might now be backing away from this. A little bit of a trade. Zeldstalker Sentry all still continuing over for a few moments. We have the Force ready to poke onto the natural. Rest there's Bio in the mine gathering up as well. Just for a few moments. is going to be enough to get ByuN out of this game. Well, I guess so. Sure. I mean, hero's ByuN's out of position. He's not that far out of position. Well, by the time herO attacks, I guess he's midway across the map. I'm surprised we leave the game. Because I feel like at least you maybe run over here and try and base trade libs pop, maybe make something half of a defensive. Like, I don't know if that's... I always think that's never GG territory, and I always think that's like, let's play on a little bit. But, yeah. Obviously, that's up to the players to decide. In this case, he decides that's the way it's gonna go. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, guys. The viewership lately is insane. We have like 400 people on YouTube as well. Crazy business. Alright, we got ourselves another map coming up, another match coming up. It's going to be herO versus Rogue. So we're going to get into herO and Rogue in a few moments, guys. Alright, Rogue and herO will begin to veto. Just wondering if I need a drink. I think I need a drink. Alright, I'll be 1 minute, guys. We come back and we get this ready to go. 2 base versus 3 base. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I understand ByuN's a bit behind, but like, you're about to enter a base trade scenario, so I think you at least try. I don't think it's good for him. He's later to the base trade as well. He's got more to kill. Yeah, it's one of those moments where I think, like, the players probably know, but, like, I would have liked to see another 30 seconds, you know? Alright, guys, I'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. herO Rogue ready to go in a second. Players are readying. Bit of a longer series, that one, at least, to bring us back on track after the very speedy beginning of the day. Very speedy beginning. Where are our other casters? Slacking, I tell you, slacking. Not joining the lobby instantly. What are they doing? Who do they think they are? Crazy business. Crazy business. All right. Hello, guys. Please join the lobby. Ay. Is Zero Space basically a Dune / Command and Conquer? Zero Space doesn't feel like Command and Conquer at all. Zero Space feels a lot closer to StarCraft than Command and Conquer. I'm not going to call it StarCraft, but like, it's a lot more StarCrafty than it is Command and Conquer is like big, massive armies that you look back from and you don't really control individual units in and stuff. Like, that's... Zero Space has a lot of very StarCrafty micro, I think. Alright, it's got one caster that's bugged out and can't join the lobby, guys, so give us a few moments to try and sort through that. With the Harvest and Galactic Conquest thing. I mean, Galactic Conquest is like their co-op mode. So, I mean, it depends which mode you're talking about. Like, if you ask me if it's similar to these things, I think of like 1v1 and stuff. But like, they have the Galactic Conquest is like co-op. So, yeah. It's like basically saying like, it's basically like looking at StarCraft's co-op and being like, whoa, is this like Warcraft? Because you use like heroes or something. I mean, not a great analogy, but maybe enough to get the point across. Alright, let's jump into it, guys. We have ourselves the next matchup here, and it's going to be some ZVP. As we have ourselves the Blue Zerg. Is going to be Rogue. Up against the Red Protoss in the bottom right corner of the map, we're going to have ourselves herO. Let me get this ready to rumble. So we start this off and get this running and see what's going to be happening here in game number 1 of this best of 3. And yeah, have a look to see what our PVZ looks like, see what herO is doing in the matchup right now. Obviously a matchup that has had maybe some of the most controversy around it since the changes. I don't even know if I know what people really want to be doing in this matchup right now, you know? Like, I'm not sure if I'm aware of what people are trying to get up to, you know? So, yeah, I'm intrigued. Like, I know for a while we were talking about all of the, I know for a while we had a lot of the, I can't think. We had a lot of the Sky Toss and so on, but I do feel like that's been a little bit less kind of the be-all and end-all recently, so that's kind of cool, I guess, I suppose. We'll just have a drone is obviously dealing with the probe scout at the moment, so that is going to be our starting point, if nothing else, here for a little bit. So we get that moving. Drone still coming around. That probe still getting chased out of here. No fortune for you, Mr. Proby. No chance of getting much done. The next couple of moments looks as though you're going to be in trouble. As it's the Stargates, that pod is expected. It's really going to be the kind of follow-up to there where we're really looking to see what starts to happen and so on and so forth in this match. So, getting to the interesting parts. Starting to figure out what, like I say, the plan is going to be and everything. Stalker Warp Gate both just coming through, so we take a couple moments and get ourselves settled. The Queen is going to be there to meet the Adept for a couple moments as well, so just handling that for a few moments. And yeah, getting settled for now. So bringing this around, seeing what we got going on. Just have that Warp Gate coming up. The Oracle is on its way. Link speed finishing very soon as well. Just a lot of shooting at that Adept, so trying to handle that for a little bit. We have ourselves the couple lings are moving across the map, so they will start to put in a little bit of pressure here, try and see a little bit of what's going on for a couple moments, if nothing else. Oracles will be moving around, so we take a few moments with those and see what it is we can do. Obviously trying to find some damage. Defense so far pretty good. Anytime you're not losing drones to the Oracle harass, you're going to be enjoying that. Rogue was always one of the players who I felt like was kind of constantly in danger when it came to playing against the playing against the Protoss players and these kind of games happening, and he would just lose so many workers and just not get into good positions at all because he was essentially just in a constant state of being harassed to death, and he would never basically get set up in the game without it having just gone wrong for him. So I always like it when this continues through. You see him now getting... I talk about Rogue being the guy to take damage, and guess what? He took a bunch of damage, guys. What? Fucking Casticus or what? Jeez. Yeah, so he ends up taking a bunch of damage. Well, that's kind of what I'm on about. So eventually, damage is done. Although this came at the cost of 3. I want to pretend that 3 adepts is something, but it's pretty cheap. Obviously, it's definitely still a win on the side of... There's definitely still a win on the side of herO, zero doubt about that. And the Oracles are going to come back through now and try and do a little extra, see if they can find some more opportunity. The Ling's going to actually break through over here, so they're going to get in for the counterattack. 4 probes already went down, and we are likely going to lose a couple extra over the next few moments, so some damage to be done. As the Void Raiders try and activate, we come across to try and deal with this. Just going to be seeing the Void still chasing those Zerglings down, but 6 probes. And Rogue finds a little bit of a backstab onto herO, but some damage onto him. Obviously, stakes of this match, guys, as these Lings continue to get a bit more, but if herO is able to win this one, first place is guaranteed for him. If Rogue wins this one, he can fight for first place by beating ByuN, and herO would not be safe to advance. Scoreline depending, that could be a tiebreaker to determine who advances in the end, right? So that could be big. And right now, herO has lost 24 workers. Man, when this first bit of aggression started, it did not seem that scary, but in the end, it has been terrifying. And Rogue has just ripped through defense of herO right there. Now, we've got a bunch of Voids on this other side. Hydra's coming up against only Voids. I feel like Rogue is so well set up right now. Hydra's coming up will be big for him. Okay, we lose this hatchery. Sad, we lose one base. I just don't think that's that important. I think this is kind of fine in general right now, no? I think we're okay with this, honestly. Like, to me, this is fine in the grand scheme of things. Well, I mean, Rogue obviously did a bunch of damage, and just like I said, I don't see the Void Rays doing enough anytime soon. Now, if those Void Rays start getting additional support and so on, then we can maybe be talking. Then we've got a different argument, a different case on our hands, but we need to see these Void Rays supported by something, because right now, to me, the Hydra's are just going to do amazingly, especially after herO took a ton of damage, and now herO's the one who's going to be playing from a little bit behind. You can see those Voids just activate again, and we do just try and find a way to do more damage with them. The more we get, the better off you'll be feeling. You want value from these, but it's, like I say, not going to be easily found, I don't think. It's not going to be easily given, I guess, at least we should say. It is not going to be easily given at all. I mean, as Rogue maxes out, does he just commit to a fight? Like, do we just send this? Like, is that just the winning play at that point? Winning play, maybe not, but very good idea. Yes, I think so. I think the sooner you get aggressive with this army, the tougher it's going to be for herO to have the answers. I mean, a mothership coming up is already actually a pretty good answer that will help you along the way, but it's not ready yet, and units are arriving, and they're going to try and start forcing the fight against this. The Hydra's come over. That Nexus is already in trouble, as you can see. It is taking some damage. The Lings are here. The probes will start to go down once again. We're familiar with that, with how this game has gone already, no doubt. The Void Ray is activating, the mothership sitting overhead, and we continue to try and hold out this position. But will it be enough? I don't think so. Rogue is looking good to take a game one of this series, and that is a massive, massive result for Rogue if he can actually get the closeout on this. Obviously, it's just game one, but it would be a great start to this match. Like I say, it would put this into a very interesting place, especially with Rogue ByuN coming up after this. If Rogue was to win this series. Oh, Lings are in again. I just don't see, even with the mothership here, I don't see the Void Rays breaking this. They're just not good enough against Queen Hydra. Try and retreat away. Minus 17 probes, by the way, on the other side of the map, so yeah, more damage being done. It just becomes worse and worse and worse, it feels like, and I do not disagree with the GG on that one. Rogue takes an opening game off of herO. So Rogue gets the 1-0 lead here, and that, like I say, puts us into a pretty exciting position. We'll be heading into game 2 of this in a couple of moments. Second map here is Lockdown. Our lobby link down so everyone can start joining us. Run the ads that help to support the StarCraft, and we get this ready to resume. And thank you for tuning in so far today. Once again, just a reminder, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch, don't forget to follow. And we appreciate your support, guys. Appreciate your support. Game 2 coming up here in just a few moments. herO and Rogue. Players ready? Lockdown for our second map with Rogue leading it 1-0. Counterattack's good. The Void's not getting enough done. Let's get this going. Lockdown it is. That's what we're going to have in the top right corner of the map, the blue Zerg player. This will be Rogue. He is up a game on this best of 3, taking on herO in the WardiTV Summer Cup. Top 4 get high seeds into the WardiTV Summer Championship, of course. And of course, right now, the winners today will advance to the playoffs. That will be quarterfinals for them. Then they just play a single elim bracket. Top 4 qualifies them, but there's obviously prize money to be won as well. Probe stepping across, so we take a moment or two. Heading to that upper right-hand side. Now Overlord slowly moving to give us a little bit of a starting point here. Just for a little bit. And they're probably going to patrol in the natural, so again, move around with that for a few moments. That's the plan at the moment. That is the plan at the moment. So when you move along with that, we get that settled for a little bit. Just going to be seeing the pool coming about. The probe will obviously again just keep poking, as it should be doing. Staying active for a little while and so on. I wonder if Rogue up a game is just gonna feel kind of aggressive for game 2, you know? He's like, oh, this is exciting for me. Let's just go straight, you know, let's just get the aggro going and see if we can find a quick win or so. I wonder if that's part of the plan. And Dep just going to shade up for a couple of seconds. We come moving along just for a couple of moments. We are going to be seeing this queen is going to hit this Adept for a couple of seconds as well, so obviously. He was praising Rogue's early game last time for not taking too much damage, and then I mean, it's still true. He did okay in the early game, just obviously then the Adepts got in. To be fair, I mean, those Adepts that get in, it's a little bit later, right? And some oftentimes when that happens a little bit later, it's still kind of fine. Sorry guys, give me a sec. My window is blasting with the wind. I need to actually shut it. Destroy my blind in the process. The Oracle is continuing to deal with things here. So, Oracle continues to deal with things for a moment or two. Gonna see those couple oracles continue to gather around, so just gonna see them coming across for a few moments. Seeing the Ling's gonna try and poke about, see if there's an opportunity for them to put some more pressure in over these next few moments as well. Gonna be having ourselves the melee upgrade, the Oracle and the +1 attack upgrade, all of that coming through for a few moments. Again, the little bits and pieces coming over for a little bit. As we have the Lings heading down in towards the center, the Oracles, three of them together will move forward. Still only one drone lost though. Again, gotta credit Rogue for the early game. Do not lose much early, gives you a good setup for later on. Puts you in a good place as you continue through. Oracles gather up, just going to start moving forward here. And the Ling's actually going to show up. They're going to start moving through, so Ling's going to run in here, a couple of probes. We'll run through for some of the activity as well. Trying to see what we got going on next few moments. Just going to see the Queens. We'll gather up for a little bit also. And these Adepts are going to try and bring themselves around for some action. Adepts going to fight. The Ling's actually looking for a wraparound in the next few moments. It's going to be seeing those Lings running straight through. The Oracles are going to activate. Queen's trying to help to push this away. Is it going to be good enough? Or how is this overall going to end up? herO is building from Rogue. The Temple Archive is already on the way from herO, going into charge. So he's going to play a ground army this time, not going to play, or try to play into the Sky Toss as he did last time. So an adjustment there for sure. Adjustment right off the bat. This thing is Dev's going to get through. They will get a few more workers, so definitely not a bad thing. Able to get in, get some work. I mean, anytime you're knocking the drone count down, that is nice. We're going to see Rogue is still trying to push out a little bit right now. He's ready to deal with these Zealots. Of course, Lings are not exactly the best friends against Zealots. The Baneling is much better. They don't have Bane's speed just yet, though. A few moments away, that'll make it a lot easier to handle this, to be fair, so it's quite nice. There's a defense without losing drones. Anytime you're not losing drones is pretty much going to be the the winning kind of combo, right? So yeah, try and not lose workers, and so far Rogue's doing a good job of that because it means your economy stays up. It's going to give you the best possible chance of trading well into the later stages of this matchup. Everything will gather together once more, just spreading a little bit. A few Banes are still coming through, plus one missile upgrade coming up and into place as well currently. So I just gather up again, going to get towards the Prism for just a couple of moments. The Prism is just going to go to the side, get into warping mode, so it can't be F2'd, as the Banes are going to threaten this mineral line, but the pros preemptively pull. Much to be done there. They don't even get static defense. They just keep running through to keep the units away. We're going to lose the Oracles, though. That's nice, because obviously that's goodbye Stasis Wards and goodbye Revelations. So a lot of information of herO now disappearing. And just some of the safety features that were still relevant for him in this scenario going to be kind of taken out of there as well. So that's also going to be pretty big positive. This time we do find 5 workers as we get in for a little bit of damage already with those Banelings. And a couple of Banes just going to be met by the Zealot. Can do a good job of that as well. First real big defensive hero coming through. Has to use the storms pretty aggressively. Man, there's so many banelings available. I'm terrified that hero has used so many storms already. With this amount of banelings left, this is, like I say, terrifying. We're going to force the morph into an Archon there. There are more High Templar up above. These Banes don't even know where to go, man. He's like Rogue is suffering from success. He's like, I've got so many Banes, I don't know what to do with them. I don't blame him. He's just trying to keep them alive just to use a bit later on. He's going to turn them towards the High Templar there. They are going to crash in. Did they actually kill the High Templar up top? No, those High Templar did live. But this entire right side gets crushed down, and herO is going to be losing this position. So this base is going to be falling. And herO becomes a 3-base Protoss player. Wow, that's very good for herO. This puts him into a killer position. Is herO going to find a way out of this now? I mean, obviously, his tech was good, but it wasn't enough. And now he's got a Mothership and a Tempest on the way, but I'm not sure if he's going to have enough to really make this be enough overall, is what I'm thinking. The Tempest, the Robo Facility both coming through. And then to place, the few Lings are going to come around for a couple seconds as well. Hydroling Bane going to continue to gather up, so we take a few moments, settle this down. Seeing a good couple of storms coming about as well, so getting a little bit more done here for a few moments. Just going to be seeing the Zealots going to try and charge across the map. Rogue is staying close to being maxed out, while herO sits at 130 supply with the need to win some fights soon. Otherwise, things are going to continue to go really heavily against him here, so he has to really start, like I say, figuring some stuff out sooner rather than later, realistically. I mean, like I say, the tech that herO is working with is good, which makes some of these fights still winnable. Rogue has to be careful about not overcommitting to some of these positions, because obviously you overcommit through, this can absolutely still go wrong for you, so yes, let's be a little cautious here. herO just wants to try and get back to this base. A few Lings obviously not exactly going to stop him on their own accord. Continue by. The ship's still sitting tight. The few Zealots are coming around. Hydra Bane and gather together there as well for the moment. So again, gathering up with this for now. We're just going to see the storm coming down already. Gathering for a few seconds also. Big storm coming down, Hydra Bane getting hit. We got a few Corruptors up as well, so we actually know that we've got the, ability, we know there's some Tempest in the Mothership here, basically, so we're going to respect that with the Corruptors. Honestly, good, but it's not going to be super game-changing anyway. It looks as though we are going to be A-okay on this one, it seems. As Rogue pushes through, the Hydras continue to work out. The Corruptors have survived through this. Anytime Corruptors survive in a fight in the skies, it's going to be a very good time for the Zerg, and Rogue not just looking to beat herO, looking to get the 2-0 over herO, which I think is particularly noteworthy. Yeah, that's I mean, I don't want to say it's all but done here, but it probably does feel like it is. Probably does feel like it is, right? Realistically, you're setting up a 100 supply lead. And you reset a good amount of the Protoss tech, maybe not everything, but like I say, a good amount of it. To me, good enough to, like I say, I think be very happy with where things sit at this point in time. I'm going to throw down the Lurker Den in a Hive. Can't make sure if it's necessary, but maybe just in case. Obviously, Rogue should be able to keep herO away from any new bases, and that alone is going to be a pretty good position to be in, as you're just going to be seeing these Hydras stepping through. The Immortals kind of forcing it back. We're going to be out of storms. I think we've got like one more storm ready to go, so don't have much more ready to go there. And herO has to say GG. Rogue gets the 2-0, and herO is going to be down in this group at 2-1. So 2-1, but the worst possible map score out of the 3 players that could tiebreak here, because he lost a map in the series he won, and he didn't win a map in the series he lost. So herO has the worst map score, which means that if ByuN beats Rogue, I'm pretty sure herO just gets eliminated, because herO cannot possibly have a better map score than Rogue and ByuN. Well, maybe he can. It becomes awkward. I mean, I guess herO needs ByuN to beat Rogue, because then otherwise that creates the tiebreaker, but then Rogue has the head-to-head over herO, so if they get into a tiebreaker, that would be bad. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Let's get ByuN into this party. Let's get these vetoes ready to go. And we have ourselves one final best of 3 today, guys. It's been a fast day. Again, apologies for the fast games. Obviously, MaNa's games are pretty quick early, as we get our first as we had our first few matches take a very short amount of time. Like I say, we do have sponsored content coming up after this, guys. There is a Twitch sponsorship, which means that it's based on viewership. So if you're watching on Twitch, stick around for a little bit. All you have to do is be a viewer for like 5 to 10 minutes of the sponsored content, and you count as a view. And every view basically means we get paid out more money from the sponsorship. So if you want to help us just make a little bit of cash today, like I say, super easy. As soon as the StarCraft ends, we're going to start the sponsorship up. If you leave the stream on for like 5 minutes or so after that, amazing. We're going to be playing some Marvel Rivals. You're obviously welcome to stay for longer, but at least stick around for 5 minutes. Be a viewer for the first 5 minutes. Count for the sponsorship. It works massively. Appreciate it. If ByuN wins, he advances. Otherwise, herO advances. Is that what it comes down to, though? So if ByuN, because Rogue's through no matter what as well. Wow. So ByuN, if he wins, it's going to be ByuN and Rogue. And if Rogue wins, it's Rogue and herO. Wow, interesting. Can I play some Raid Shadow Legends after? We are due a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor. I would not be surprised if we had a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor in the next 3 months. Wait, it's that time of the year where it's like, we've not had it for like a year and a half or so. They usually start reaching out again. They're like, hey, this game still exists and makes a crap ton of money. Alright, referee myself. Rogue, ByuN. Yeah, what's up, Human Boosting? Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Ready, ready, go, go. Say the players. Let's try and get our last caster in here. Let's go into our last best of 3 of the day. Like I say, it's been kind of fast, but I mean, at the same time, like, 3 hours is not abnormal. We had like a longer series. That ByuN herO series definitely made it a bit longer to help us out along the way, I suppose. So that was at least a positive in amongst everything. So you can see this is going to be Sanctuary for map number 1 of this deciding matchup today. Best of 3 WardiTV Summer Cup, and it's a big one, and not just for the 2 players playing here, but for the player who just lost out, herO. His tournament depends on this matchup. If in the top right-hand side, our blue Terran player ByuN wins this series, he will advance out of this group alongside Rogue, and herO will be eliminated, which means that if you are a herO fan, you've got to cheer on Rogue to win this series, because him beating ByuN will put himself and herO into the playoffs. What's crazy is I'm pretty sure herO's likely to advance through in second place then, because herO can't advance in first place if ByuN wins. So basically, herO would advance in second place, and that would give us a very rough round of 8 matchup for somebody. Because like I said, the round of 8 first place finishes, it's like Solar, Shin, or Cure. So it would be one of those guys against herO if Rogue wins this in the quarterfinals. Let's see what happens. ZVT best of 3 coming up. Deciding match of this group. Let me take a second. Get this on the way. Commands that are coming down, so ByuN is going to go CC super quickly in the game. Is going to be his plan of action for us here. Overlord moving over, so you take a couple seconds, take a couple moments, nothing too wild. Early game, we're about to get the scout off, of course, which is very good for you here as Rogue to see that this is CC first, but I mean, it's guaranteed as well. Like, there's no way you don't send this Overlord across the map, so it's not like ByuN's game plan is like, oh my god, he just figured it out. Like, it wasn't dependent on this or anything, of course. Throw the third CC down very quickly as well, so ByuN going to put this straight in position in the main base. Again, this has been heavily buffed with the 300 CC cost. This is 300 CC, if nothing else, absolutely gives you your 3 command center builds back as Terran. They were a little bit awkward to do before. They were taking some figuring out. Now they are absolutely free to get into. So good. Being able to do this early in the game is just kind of wild. It's kind of insane that this is an allowable thing. Just like I say, with how quickly it is, more than anything else. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So I guess just enjoy the new music. I really didn't like the new music at first. I'm very adverse to change, but now I'm a bit more used to it. Still don't know if all of it really fits in amongst the 1v1 of StarCraft 2, but vibing with it a lot more than we were. Put it that way. To be fair, I think my first exposure to it as well was Maestros of the Game, where it was really freaking loud compared to everything else too. That didn't exactly help. New music that was way louder than it should have been was not ideal, to say the least. We have this hatchery coming up on the third base. Spire's coming through. Bailing speed is going up as well. What's up, Nine? How you doing? Hello, everyone. A couple of those engineering bays just gather up so we get that settled in for a few moments and get that started. And into play just for a moment or two. The Marines are going to push forward onto this group spread, so we are going to see some Marine pressure early, as you can see right now. Putting some work in and getting a little bit of damage dealt. Lings are going to catch this, though. That slow zone doesn't exactly do you any favors in ByuN. not going to have a good time there. That is going to be a lot of his units early in this game knocked down. Ling's going to threaten on the other side. The problem is with losing Marines is you're playing into mutas. So you're playing against mutas here soon, and that's going to be a big problem because now you're meant to have as much anti-air as possible. The mutas are very likely going to be able to capitalize on the fact that you've just lost a ton of your anti-air Marine force early. That's going to put you into a really tough couple of moments. Mutas just going to jump onto that orbital. Get some work out for a few moments here. It's going to hit the orbital, get some damage done, as you can see at the moment. Bring that around. Bring it around, setting that up. Do have the rest of this continuing through as well. So again, getting this going for a couple moments right here. Having the Marines actually still gathering up. I mean, you do have the mutas starting to show up as well, but we have a pretty reasonable... I feel like we've got a fairly reasonable defense setting up for this right now, so... bringing that about just for a moment or two. Hatchery coming into place. Marines actually going to be there to push the mutas away once more. 2-2 upgrades already on the way up from ByuN. So he does have the upgrade lead. That's not abnormal for the muta player to be behind on upgrades. In fact, that's probably the norm. Well, it is the norm because you're investing into the mutas rather than upgrades early. So it's not, like I say, super shocking that you take a deficit in one way or another. And in this case, a deficit on the mutalisk setup. Oh well, the deficit as you set up into the mutas is going to be the way that this goes. Like I say, that is really not too surprising of a situation. As we'll come around, the Marines and tanks want to move out. We've got Ling Bane ready to dive on this with the tanks unsieged. Or we counterattack. That's your choice as Rogue. He's going to start to think about running in, but did ByuN see it? I think so. That's why he's going to siege the tanks. Defensively over here. He goes flying to the main base. First missile turret shots. Going to do a bit of damage to that. The Ling Bane will continue to gather in. Settling for a moment or two here. Going to have the mutas going to dive into the main. Already had 9 SCVs. A few Banes going to roll in the front, knock down some depots. It's not a bad thing to get rid of, as now the SCV is going to be in trouble as well. ByuN is just sending it across the map. He's just decided that he's going to go for this, and he is just going to commit, which, you know what? Credit to ByuN. Yeah, that's a brave decision. It's not easy to make that choice. I just don't think it's going to work out here. What's already starting to happen, essentially, is that he does kill a lot, but it's going to be the reinforcements that are a struggle here for you as the Terran against the Zerg, because the Zerg's going to have a lot of reinforcements, and your army doesn't get replaced. Now, if you get to a point where you're overwhelming, then that maybe is fine. The question is, can you get to a point here where that is maybe going to be overwhelming or not? That's what we figure out over these next few moments and what we really try and get an answer to. Having the Marines still pushing forward. 2-2 upgrades going to be denied, so ByuN will maintain an upgrade lead, and Rogue is not able to hold on, guys. The play was brave from ByuN. It was brazen, but it is going to be good enough, and that is going to be GG for the opening game. That is a big one. Like I say, I mean, if ByuN runs this series, he goes to the playoffs, and herO does not. It would be a massive, massive result in this group. GG's. What happens if ByuN wins score-wise? So ByuN's +4, ByuN's +1. If ByuN wins this 2-0, he actually gets first place in the group even, which is obviously amazing. Considering the difference of opponents that you would play, finishing first versus finishing second. So map score, very important now. I guess actually if Rogue loses +3, but then ByuN could only play +2. So yeah, a map score here does guarantee Rogue first place as well. So like even just winning a map as Rogue would be extremely beneficial right now in the grand scheme of things in this event. So that is also extremely important at this current point in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run some ads before we kick it off, guys. And Rogue ByuN will continue through. Players are ready, though. So get the ads going. It's okay. It's an 8-work start. Nothing's going to matter. ByuN just ran in and killed everything. Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's how it is, you know. All right, let's jump in. In the bottom right, our blue Terran. This is going to be ByuN. He's up 1-0 against Rogue. And Red Zerg in the top left-hand side. Looking to bring this back. Looking to bring it back on track. You don't even know how you got bits. What are they worth? 1 bit is 1 cent, so 100 bits is $1. $100 is $1. You don't see a lot of bits nowadays. Give me $1, give me $1. Yeah, bits don't get as used as much nowadays. It's funny because actually, also watching the 24/7 stream a bunch, it's kind of funny because it's kind of like a history of Twitch in a way, you know. Kind of like experiencing like all the old times. I'm like seeing people actually using bits like all the time and stuff like that as well. It's really interesting to see. Really interesting to see. Because it was, I can't remember when bits came out, but yeah, when they first came out, people, it was really fun. You used to like, I mean, you still can get bit badges and stuff. It's just, it really is something that's just died off. And nowadays they try and make it so that people benefit from using bits in a bunch of ways. So they can interact with like extensions and stuff and so on. But like, it's tough. It's hard to convince people to buy them over just donating to the streamer still. It truly was like an exciting new thing before, you know. Now, like I say, maybe not so much. It's been a few years. Been a few years. Things coming across this map early. Rotron to follow it up. So pool first into the Rotron. Rogue is going to bring the aggression, is the plan it would seem. Ling's obviously trying to be a little bit annoying here early. He's just trying to handle that for the moment. We obviously really want to finish this CC off. Problem is that this is also Marine, so it's very difficult for ByuN to see what's coming his way. It's very difficult for him to recognize that this is going to be an aggressive follow-up, essentially. So we're in a little bit of a rough place there. Let's gather up. A few minions come around. Gonna be seeing those Lings get pushed back. The 7 Roaches are on their way. ByuN is at least on 3 barracks, so he's not going to waste any money building Hellions, which is very good for him here. Because if he was wasting money building Hellions, then there's almost no hope for him. Now with it being just like bio units, there's a little bit more of a chance, right? There's a little bit more of a chance that we have a way to hold this, especially with like an SCV pull going in front. Feels a little bit more hopeful. Well, have to lift off the CC. That's absolutely expected in this scenario. That is not a surprise at all. We're seeing the Road Ravage still going to be there. If nothing else, we're denying some mining time. Obviously not letting this natural mine, so you're just going to try and make the absolute most of this right here. Try our best for that, if possible. Ravager trying to come through again. Just too much bio now, especially as you get the stim up. It's going to be very difficult for Rogue to do much else. Like I say, definitely the right build order for ByuN to just have a good time here naturally. Puts him in a very good position very quickly. Bio is now actually going to start making its way out onto the map for a few moments. So I'm going to begin to move over there. Let's see this stim in. Just going to be seeing ByuN working his way through the Roaches. This could be it for Rogue, who needs to desperately get as many units up as possible. More Roaches and Lings on the way. Combat shield coming up from ByuN. We're going to pull the drones to survive this. It's not exactly a great sign that we have to, you know, pull the drones to survive this at all. -6 workers pretty much immediately is not great. Not great at all. Last few units are going to just try and get a little bit extra. It's a defense from Rogue, but he's down 8 workers, so he really is pretty heavily behind, to say the least. He's going to come back around again. Just going to be seeing the double bunker coming up as ByuN recognizes the danger that he's likely in right now. So just pull the SCVs, get a repair going here, and this could be it for ByuN. Just needs to hold this off. Now, it's a lot of army supply from the Zerg. It doesn't mean it's going to be... That does mean it's not going to be an easy hold from ByuN. There is a lot to work with right now. That much is for sure. Ravager Bowels coming down, trying to see what we can do. One more Bowels. I don't love how slow this is, though. This feels extremely, extremely slow on the side of Rogue. You kind of got to go, no? Your economy's not getting any better. The longer we sit back here and just wait, the worse this is going to be. Well, this is it. This is the moment we dive on through. We try and make our play. And Rogue just says, it's not going to be enough. ByuN is going to take this down. And that is an absolutely massive result for ByuN. And it eliminates herO from the WardiTV Summer Cup. As herO, Rogue, and ByuN traded series, but herO, like I say, had the worst possible map score because he lost a map in the series he won, and he got 2-0'd in the series he lost, whereas ByuN took a map in the series he lost, went 2-0 where he won. Rogue went 2-0 where he won as well. I mean, there's no way... And Rogue has the head-to-head over herO as well, so Rogue actually had the advantage over the herO too, so even that wouldn't be great. But yeah, that's going to be meaning that ByuN and Rogue are going to advance on through to the next round of the competition, guys. So herO is out, an upset here in Group D of the content of the contest. Crazy, actually a little bit crazy, a little bit surprising. How about that? Alrighty. Guys, what we're going to do is we're going to be doing some sponsored content here on Twitch. So again, if you are able to stick around for the next 5 to 10 minutes, please do consider supporting us and literally just sticking around. All you got to do is stay tuned in, like I say, for the next 5 minutes or so. You count as a view. If you count as a view, you count as towards the sponsorship, and that obviously goes a long way. So, like I say, consider sticking around. We really appreciate it if you do. Just waiting for my stream category to update so I can actually start it. I'll let you guys know when the 5 minutes or so begins. And yeah, we'll be playing this for about an hour, Marvel Rivals. It's Season 9 of Marvel Rivals. I'll tell you all about it in a moment. I just need to start the sponsorship off so that thingies, but it takes a little while. There we go. There we go. So we're going to be moving into Marvel Rivals here, guys. Like I said, some sponsored content for the next hour. If you're on YouTube, this is not a YouTube sponsorship, so I'm going to be saying goodbye to you guys on YouTube, but feel free to come and watch us on Twitch. Like I say, you come around for 5 minutes, you help support the StarCraft 2. It's greatly appreciated because the sponsored content pays out money, believe it or not. The TLDR is we've got ourselves the new season of Marvel Rivals. We play Marvel Rivals like every month on the channel because Twitch keeps sponsoring us to do it. So we're sponsored here once again, sponsored by Marvel Rivals, with once again another round of massive updates. There's a new convoy map to escort the payload on, and this started up a couple days ago, or yesterday even, so it's very fresh, very new. And once it gets to July 30th, there's actually another mode, Path to Doomsday, coming up, but that's not available yet. So today we're just going to go around and check out the new content. I don't know if there's a new herO. Usually they mention if there's a new herO, but it doesn't say anything about it. So we're just going to dive in, play some games of Marvel Rivals, have a good time, and yeah, hang out for the next hour or so. It was obviously a pretty fast day on the StarCraft, guys. Those first 3 best of 3s did not exactly do us any favors in terms of having like a longer day. Will the bracket be made now? No. The StarCraft 2 tournament bracket, I'll make it when we wrap up our sponsored content. I got to dive into the sponsorship ASAP. If we don't do the sponsored content ASAP, it hurts the viewership rate. So, yeah, basically I'll make the StarCraft 2 bracket at the end. Christiana, the lone Protoss, going to be in the playoffs. It's actually pretty wild. It's actually pretty wild. It's very exciting too. But yeah, again, this is a sponsor we'll be playing for the next hour or so. I am just getting it loaded up. If you are on YouTube, I'm about to turn you guys off, so thank you so much for watching today, YouTube viewers. Like and subscribe. I'm back, not tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow I'm taking the day off. Unless I go live for some Zero Space. Depends how my day goes. I'm out playing cards tomorrow, but if the day goes differently, maybe we'll go live. But I'm definitely here on Sunday for some OSC King of the Hill action, so make sure you drop by for that. Again, come join us on the Twitch stream if you want to support the sponsored stuff, YouTubers.